All right. Take off. And we're live. All right. Just adjust this a little bit. Let's see. This looks pretty good. Maybe if everything's... I'm running two cameras because I have this one on the YouTube and this one I have the Instagram running. What's up, Gold? Dirty Mike. Hello, everybody. I'll give everybody a little bit of time. Come on in. All right. Spin this a little bit. I got a new light that I have that is blinding in my face. Well, because I felt that last one was a little bit dark. So we'll see how this goes. And then we'll get into it. All right. Let's see. Sounds good. All right, so after the last video where I was showing the parasite a little bit and how I employed that and kind of got that all rigged up, a lot of questions about the night vision itself, thermal, and just the helmet, just some general overview questions about what's changed since the last time I really did a video about this topic. And a lot has changed, but a lot of stuff is very similar. So I felt that it would be easy and cool just to go over a new video talking about what I currently have and how I'm setting it up. So I'll just do a general overview first, and then we can dive into the a little bit of the topics, all the fine details and everything like that, all the idiosyncrasies and everything. So right now I have a Crye Airframe helmet in size large that I got. I bought this one used. Some guy was selling it on eBay. I can't remember, a bunch of years ago, at least 6 years ago, you know, something like that, when it was kind of hard to get this helmet. I know that they've come out with another version of this one now that is, I think, like a different form of Kevlar. I think it's a slightly heavier. I think it's called the ATX or something, but this is the original Gen 1 style airframe. And the reason why I kind of wanted this helmet is after I had the Mitch 2000 for a long time, and that one was just like really just kind of heavy, a little bit more mushroom cap. It had just a little bit more wobble in your head, and I felt like this one just looked like a little bit more slick, the way that it kind of has the back rounded deeper down to like the base of your skull. Just seemed a little bit, just seemed nicer, and just the weight itself was just the main selling point to me. I know it was kind of expensive, you know, compared to what you can get a Mitch or, you know, a high cut, something else, 2000, 2002, 2001, whatever. But this one, instantly I knew that it was a good investment just because of the weight savings. And the other really important thing that I felt that came with it was the ops core. I'm sorry, what was this one? The Team Wendy chin strap with the dial was one of those things that kind of really changed my life and just made wearing this helmet significantly more comfortable. So all right, so I got the airframe helmet. Then in the front, I have the same set PVS 15s that I've had for the last 11, 12 years. I can't remember the date that I originally got these, but I bought these as a new set, and very happy with these. I'll talk a little bit more about these in a second, but then in the front, I have, this is the older version of the Optics One clip-on thermal overlay. The light's not great for this one, but let's see. Okay. So I'll take this off. The way that this mounts is it has this interface shoe that sits on the front of the tube and has this little foot that clicks and locks into the opposing shoe on the thermal. So it's very easy. Actually, just, I can do this very easy, like in the dark, just slides in. You can feel that it has this little raised button that lifts up, and then two teeth lock together, and now it's locked in place. This shoe is held in place by one set screw. This one's actually, when I got this set, this retaining bar, the lock bar, is actually for the PVS 14 ocular lens. So the 15 lens is slightly smaller. So I actually just had to put a couple layers of electrical tape on the body itself, so that this ring could tighten down enough in place where it'll stay firm. That presented a couple different problems. Unfortunately, is the way that the 15 focus lens works is that that tape that I have in place holds my front focus at one definitive point. So I can't adjust the front focus when I have the thermal on the front of the goggle. So what I have to do is I have to focus the goggle, go outside, make sure that I have a good infinite focus, what I feel is nice. Then I tighten down this shoe, and I kind of have to leave that one in place. I've had this for years and ran it this way, and it has not been a problem. But it is just something to note that is one of those things that and sometimes it's an inherent problem that you just have to deal with when you get a piece of goggle, piece of kit, and you got to just make it work. So I think they made a specific 15 shoe for this, but this is an older version. I think this version of this clip-on is discontinued. I don't think they make this one anymore. So let's see. I have for people who don't know, the thermal, you can't put a sacrificial lens on it like you can. I think there's some type of glass. I think it's like obsidian or something, some ridiculously overpriced piece of glass that you could get for like a couple $100 that would cover this. But what I did was I had an ACOG kill flash that I sanded down to the right thickness, and I put that in between this 8-point flash cover, and that was my kill flash. It would obscure the thermal a little bit. So what I would do is I would have this cap on if we were doing like an indoor movement or something got really tense where the distance of engagement got super close. I would close that door just to protect the thermal a little bit. And then we were doing woodland or patrolling where I needed to have it as much visual as possible, a much distance throw. I would open that door so that I didn't have any distortion or anything. So that worked pretty good. Usually I would run the door completely open. I can't remember, a couple games ago, I guess I had it open and we were going through some brush and I ripped my kill flash off, so I got to make another one. And that's all you got to do. So you can't make a traditional kill flash for the thermal, because the way that it works, the sensor, picks up the heat signature off the glass. So you can't really have anything obscuring that. This one runs on a 123A, and it's great. It has 3 different settings. It has the full thermal setting, the full thermal. I can't remember what the other one is. I think it's 3 settings, but I only ever run it on what they call like outline mode, which is when you're looking, when you're scanning with it, it finds the heat signature, whatever it recognizes and it pretty much just runs an outline off that. I like that one because it gives you the least amount of stuff to look at when you're looking through the goggle. If you spot someone, sometimes it's hard to really discern what you're looking at because you're looking through the night vision, because this is projecting an image onto your night vision tube. So you're looking already through night vision, which is sometimes really hard to understand what you're looking at, especially if you're looking in you're through the woods. There's a lot of different shadow coverages, sometimes natural light of people moving around behind you, white light, moonlight, it's disorienting to begin with. And then when you start introducing another layer of vision on top of that, it can be a lot. So that's why I like to run the outline mode only, because it can really give you the shape of someone's body, or, if you see an animal or something like that, it's not as disorienting. And I find also that it probably doesn't drain the batteries fast. If you had the full thermal, then it would be lighting up a much larger signature using much more sensory power. So, it's just something to consider. Yeah. So it's a good. I got this also used. I found this on eBay. I think it was like close to $2,000, but the investment for what the capability that it grants you is significant, especially from a leadership position or a point man position. You have to have the thermal, because if you don't, everyone has night vision, and that's great, but it's not enough. The night vision advantage is not enough anymore. You must have thermal, especially if you're going to be in a leadership position, or if you're going to be out in front, leading the column through unknown territory. So you have to be able to spot people at distance so that we can maneuver properly. So that's right now, like our standard SOP is like, the guy who's on point, you gotta have thermal. I don't care how good you are, you must have it, because it's too much of a liability not to have it. And it's that powerful. So I think this version of this unit is, like I said, was discontinued. I looked at their website prior to this stream, and this one looks much different. This one is slightly larger than the newer version. I tried to pull up the sensor specs on this one, but I couldn't really find that much information on it. I think I had the original documentation for this somewhere. I can't find it. But all in all, still very good. I know that there's probably newer units out there now, or something that's slightly more powerful, but for the capability that this gave me is phenomenal. It's great. Yeah. And someone on the YouTube, yeah, geranium, I think germanium, I think that's what it was. Something crazy like that. But yeah, the kill flash is definitely something to consider for all your types of optics. Like even, your main primary optic, a little piece of Lexan, anything like that, you gotta cover up, especially if you're doing force on force. So the thermal, I had another piece that I had made. Let's see. Another piece that's a little bit probably a piece that you want to protect or fragile is this. This is the little piece that projects onto the eyepiece of the goggle. And it's like this little arm that sticks out. So you got to be careful with that. So what I had done in the past, especially if we were doing like, all right, this game's gonna be crazy, CQB, this one's gonna be all assault stuff. I had made like almost like this little Lexan piece that kind of just protected the front of that arm a little bit, and tried to, if I was gonna take, some rounds to the thermal, that maybe would try to protect that a little bit as much as possible. And this doesn't gather any light. It doesn't need anything. So this can be essentially blocked Maybe I'll even try wrapping this in chagru or something like that to even just reinforce that arm a little bit, but I just haven't gotten around to it. People tell me I look upset. No, I'm great. Thank you very much. But now you're banned for life, sir. Thank you. Goodbye. Yeah, so just experimentation stuff. You know, you can kind of get a little bit. Gotta get crazy sometimes, a little bit creative. So that's that. For the 15s themselves, these are what the normal lenses look like. I don't have any of the covers on right now because I will show you what I do to fix that up. So I took this is what comes as the sacrificial lens for the goggle. It's these little screw-in caps that have a piece of glass in them. So what I did was I took the piece of glass out, I just punched that out, and then I took the lift lens that's for the 14, because the lift lens for the 15s are hard to come by because the lens size on this is slightly smaller. So I took I popped out the glass from the lift lens, put it into the 15 sacrificial lens cover, and then I epoxied in a piece of Lexan on top of that. So it's 2 layers with the Lexan on the front for the impact resistance, and then the lift lens behind that for the coverage of like the laser spectrum. It's and it's super short. That's why I really don't like having you know, some people run the Tarsier lenses or the matte box things, but what I don't want to have is making this any wider. All this stuff starts building up on this, and all of a sudden, you know, you got this huge thing that sticks out on the front of your face. I want to make this as thin as possible. Yeah, the thermal is not great, but where I wear it is I try to hide it up against the body as much as possible of the 15, because when I have it down, if you know my rifle optic is here, I see other people taking this sometimes and having the thermal like down like where their nose would be. And to me, I think that's where I'd be like smashing this on the back of the receiver or my rear sight or something crazy. I like it up and out of the way as much as possible. Yeah, probably you're feeling maybe the weight on your neck a little bit more, but to me, I think it's the optimal place to keep it up and away. You know, here we go. Somebody else. Oh, banned for life. Love it. And yeah, I think that's the easiest way for me to have it is up there. I like to have it on my right eye for some reason. I don't know why. It's just where I put it initially. I think that was just the spot that seemed to be the best. I think because I could, I'm right-handed. I'd rather work the switch and everything with my most fine motor skills hand and everything like that. So yeah, but a cool setup. I like this. And then for the back these were the demist shield. Again, it had a glass piece on here that I punched the glass out and then epoxied in a piece of Lexan. The problem with this is, as you can see, these get scratched up pretty fast, especially you know if you're wiping them. The glass definitely. The normal glass doesn't scratch as easy as the Lexan, but it's nowhere near as strong. The Lexan's good, so if you had the goggle up above your head, the train's going by, and you take some BBs to the back of it, I would hate to have the back of the goggle get the glass broken. So Some people are crazy. Oh. Just gotta weed the garden all the time. This is what it takes. Love it. What's up, Lenny? How we doing, man? So that's the goggle. I have these bikini filters. I didn't like having the rubber on the back of the goggle, so I just kind of cut the front of the bikini off, and then had these kind of stay through that you could straight to jail. Oh, love it. So good. Then I just kind of made a larger hole than was already there. Straight to jail. So good. This is good because when woodland, I'll always have the covers completely off, so you get the most amount of light as you're patrolling and you're looking into the, into some dark spots. Or if it's a really dark building, I'll have the covers off. And then, if something's like, CQB, or you need to see something a little bit closer, or have that, that more fine focus, just flip the covers back up. Super easy. Yeah, you can get the adjustable caps. I feel I didn't need those. Yeah, it's personal preference. If you want to get all the new fancy shit, that's great. This was before that was around. I saw someone ask me if this was the original tube set. Yeah, this is the same exact tubes that I've had for 12 years. These are greens, and they're, I think, really clear, super good. I looked at other people's stuff that's, Pat's got the new white, most ridiculous stuff. Looks great, looks awesome. I mean, I look at mine, yeah, there's a difference, but, if you think about the investment that you're going to spend per year, I think I can't remember. I think it was like close to 8,000 that I spent on these 12 years ago. So it's less than $1,000 a year of, if I can disperse that investment over. To me, it's worth it. Believe me, do I want a new set? Sure, I'd definitely take a new set. Do I want to spend $13,000 on a new set right now? I just can't. I can't justify it to myself at this moment. I have a set that's super functional and very capable. I don't. I just can't spend the money. Not. It's just not worth it to me right now. Not yet. Someone's asking, is there a way to protect your eyes from the IR laser? Unfortunately, not really. That's one of those risks that you kind of have to. The best thing is situational awareness and having, the foresight of like, you're scanning always with the goggle. You're looking. You see people, shoot lasers back at you. That's when you're like, okay, I got to get a little bit of cover. I got to start maneuvering around. And then for the lens, having the lift, some people say it doesn't do anything to protect your lens. I mean, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but I mean, the government made these for a certain reason. It has to work for a little bit. And even for the off chance, it's worth it for me to have that. So it was worth it for me to just have that simple project of putting the lift lens behind the Lexan. And then when I want to, just screw it in. And it only protrudes very, very minimally. I'll show you one with it in and one with it out. You can take a look. But periodically, probably every year at least, I have to there's the one with it in, and there's the one without. Just a couple millimeters, nothing crazy. But I do have to replace the Lexan consistently because it definitely does scratch. And these ones are definitely due. And that's when sometimes like I'll look through my night vision, I'll go outside and I'll have all the stuff on it, the protection, the Lexan, and I'll start looking around. I'm like, oh, my goggles suck. And I'm like, why is my shit so blurry? And then I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. And I unscrew all the stuff and I look through. I'm like, my goggles are great. I love these. You know, so it's just a little bit. You gotta stay on top of it, because definitely is something that can detract from how clear your goggle is and everything like that. So so people are asking about lasers. We can talk about lasers next time. Yeah, this is the lift lens that you're talking about that will refract the laser a little bit and hopefully direct it so it doesn't damage your tube as much. You know, yeah, and I always like how the 15 looked. That was, you know, one of the most appealing looking goggles to me for some reason. Even when I had the first goggle set that I ever had, PVS 7s, that still blew my mind, were incredible. Then I got myself a 14 and, you know, used that for a good number of years until I saved up and I was like, oh, I got to get these dual tubes, got to try this out. So these are, I can definitely say, a worthy investment. All right, so that's the goggle, that's the protection stuff. The thermal, I showed you a little bit. These are the buttons on the side that will the thermal, you can dial up and down the intensity of the feedback to the tube. So you can make it so that the overlay is kind of faint or super bright, depending on, you know, if I'm really trying to inspect something. If I see something from far away, like, you know, 150 meters, and I'm looking at them like, I don't know. So I'll dial it up a little bit to kind of really get a bit better perspective of what I'm looking at. But if we're patrolling, it's a big ass plane flying over. Sorry. I'm dialing it up and dialing it down consistently just so I can save as much battery power as possible. Because it's all about saving battery power. With the thermal, definitely eats the battery in under 2 hours. So it's just kind of one of those things. That's where the parasite really came from. Is you really have to be on top of it with battery management and have a lot of stuff ready to go, especially, you know, if you're going to do like a weekend game and stuff like that, or if you're you know, in a position where you're on security or on watch. It's definitely something that you have to manage. You know, it's kind of one of those things that I'm consistently passing off my goggles. When if I'm going to go into like a rest cycle, I'm going to sleep for a couple hours, I always hand off my goggle set with the thermal on it to another guy who's going to go on watch, because it's that powerful. You got to have, always have to have the thermal up. It's not one of those things. I'm not like, no one touches this goggle, this is my goggle. You know, it's like, this is a piece of equipment that you can ask any of the guys in our crew. I'm super willing to let anybody use this, because that's how powerful it is. Straight to jail. I'm having a good time with this. All right. I hope everyone else is having fun, because I sure am. So again, about my helmet, the airframe is really a huge difference. I really do like this. I like the shape of it. I started doing. It's important that when you're going to have your whatever uniform that you're wearing for that given event, you should have a matching cover. It's kind of counterintuitive if you're going to play on, you know, like the green team and then you have a fucking tan helmet. You know, it's dumb. You know, you're fucking it up. So that's why I really started using the scrim a lot, and it's just super easy. I'll show you on the inside of the helmet. It's really just held on. I took just some adhesive loop and just put that almost on the inside of the shell, all the way around on the inside. So I have that running through the whole thing. And pretty much I'll just take, I have this netting. This is the black one. I know it's well lit now, but outside it does look pretty black. And people need to understand that it's like, you just can't come here and just think you can just be crazy. People have mental problems, and you go straight through jail. Blink. And so I have like some pre-cut ones. Obviously, if I'm gonna wear a tan uniform, I'll just take the netting off and got the tan helmet, and then I have a woodland cover, and then the black one. So it's easy to match as much as possible. Some idiots, some people in our team were like, "No, you gotta paint it up." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not painting my fucking helmet every time we're gonna change uniforms. So this is super easy. We should do this." So a lot of guys are doing the scrim, and I think it's a viable option just to kind of really handle that situation of you should have a matching kit for whatever you're going to do, and pretty easy. On the inside, I have that 4D deluxe pad set. I think the only people that have it, I think you can search. I think I got this from TNBC, but it's this pad set that comes with. I think the only difference between the deluxe and the normal set is how many of these pads that you get. I think the deluxe is definitely worth it because this foam can't freeze, and it has it's almost like that memory foam mattress. Worthwhile. Definitely, I know some of the other gel pads and stuff like that, or I can't remember. I think Team Wendy makes another one, but this one is definitely super comfortable. Then the dial, the Team Wendy chin strap is super important. I have the Wilcox L4G30 permanent mount. I like this one because it is the lowest profile from the helmet as possible. People who have the G24, it's going to sit out another this far away. The G24 sits out much further. And then having the shroud that can disconnect, then you have another piece of kit in your bag that you got to remember. Did I protect? Did I remember my arm? So many times people come to a training or a game, they're like, I forgot my fucking rhino arm or something. You're just like, okay, well, you're fucked. So this way, you cannot forget it. It's permanently mounted. It's a 3-hole pattern that's screwed directly to the helmet. One button up and down. It has the slide lever that you can go up and down, and very, very easy. So people are asking about the comm setup. I'll go over that another time, but I have an Invisio X50 that I run on the front of my vest with the active hearing protection that comes up directly to my ears. And I have we have our special radio that I have connected to that. Some guys run the rails and have the ops core setup and stuff like that. I personally hate the earmuffs. I think I'd rather have the inner ear that you're getting all the airflow from the helmet. You don't feel like you're being suffocated. I'm sure if you were calling in airstrikes and you're in some situation where it's like a shitload of shooting around you, I'm sure that the muffs are great if you need to really listen to what's going on. But for us, range shit and little calm, communication back and forth, stuff like that, I'd like the inner ear stuff. It's the most streamlined, low profile stuff that you can get. So that's why I like that one. Pretty easy. Then I have this is a Petcell E-light, I think it's called. This is great just because it's like a multi-directional, like little headlamp. This came when it was on a like a little head bungee, so it's like almost like a little camping light. But I just put a little Velcro on the back of that, and then I always have this one set up. I spin this dial down here, so I always have it on the red light. So red light first is the first. So I only have to hit one switch for, I just want a little faint, very low red light. So instead of going right to white and then, having that, light AD, it's so easy just to have one little red light right there. And then it will go to white light. It's got, like I think 40 lumens maxed out. Like if you're going to use it for white light, if you're on a trail or something like that, really easy in it. And that just sits perfectly. I just have a little bit more hook just sitting right here. This little hook field, this little light just sits right there. I've never had it knocked out. I do not have this thing dummy corded down or anything like that, but super easy, just sitting right there. And then if I needed some light to see, for some reason, I got it right there. And super easy if it's going to come off. I have, you can put this on your watch cap. And then if you're at camp or something like that, you're at the campfire, you can just put that there and, do whatever you need to do. So just multi-purpose, super nice. Like I said, I have the 2 parasites back, shock corded, that I have running through my little counterweight pouch. That this is always have the 123As for the thermal, because so if you think about it, it's like 2 hours, I got, in my mind, baseline at minimum 6 hours of power. And then the thermal also, I'll scan. If we get to a position we're going to arrest or something or whatever, I'll just I'll turn it off as much as possible, and then I'll turn it back on, and we're going to start moving again. Just because, again, just the fucking battery. If you're going to go through 5 batteries a night, if you're really running it, and so just have to be prepared for that. But it's worthwhile because of how powerful it is. Are we coming to ball car again? I don't think so. We had fun at that one last time. Just trying to do some other shit. So yeah, I don't know what's next. Let's see. And let's see. Straight to jail. So that's pretty much that. I have this is I don't like to run the those bungees that run to the side of the goggle that keep it under tension. I just don't like having any of that stuff that that's another band that's like on the side of the goggle. I feel like that kind of gets in the way when you're like, if you're gonna hit the button down quickly and everything. I don't want anything next to the goggle. I want to be able to hit the button easy, and I want to have it to become able to come down under its own weight. I feel like that's more than enough pressure. And even when I'm running full speed, like I don't feel like, yeah, sometimes there's a little bit of play in my goggle, but that's like the mount itself. Never bothered me. I don't want anything where you hit the button and this is fucking slamming down. I see other guys do that, and I could see them, when I'm looking at them, they get it in the bridge of the nose and stuff like that. Their helmet's sitting too far forward. So I always want to, like, I'm telling the goggle to come down. The goggle's not fucking slamming down under tension. I don't like that. So yeah, and then I have this. I can't remember where. I think this came with some Surefire accessory like a long time ago. It's just a small, tiny micro beaner that I don't know where I stole this from, but this is I just have a little bit of cord that goes through one of these retention lanyards instead of some people have like a metal ring there, but that, you know, makes a sound every time you run. So silent. Gotta have stuff is as quiet as possible. And I'll put this on. We'll talk. I always like to run the goggle. I know you can get, you know, the 15s do articulate. It's more difficult to spread them out, especially when you have the thermal on, because the way that I have this set is the thermal is as high and as seated as tucked as possible to the goggle, so I can't roll this one up. Even when I'm stowing this, if we're going to walk around, or, you know, if I'm not using the goggle at that moment, it's like I don't like to get in the habit of taking the easy way out and things. If I'm going to stow the goggle up and fold it up against my head, then I'm probably going to leave it there like that. Like, you know, you're setting yourself up for the best case scenario when you should be setting yourself up for the worst case scenario. You should be training as much as possible with the goggle in the position that you're going to need it. So I will always suffer in training. I'll never, you know, fillet it open, even if I'm not running thermal, just because you need to train your body, your neck structure, the way that your head works, everything in the worst case scenario, because that's when you're going to fucking need it. You know, if I have to, at a moment's notice, all of a sudden it's like, oh fuck, I need the goggle. I need to be able just to drop it down with one push button and be ready to go. I can't be fucking with it like, oh, now I gotta roll it in. Now I gotta get it set. Now I gotta find where the articulation is. It's like, no, dude, you gotta be fucking, it's gotta be already there, ready, and you have to be ready to sustain it in that situation. So that's just my opinion on that. When I see the guys, you know, with it, you know, folded up, yeah, it looks cool, you know, I'm sure it feels better on your neck, but you're gonna be fucked when you really need to have to all of a sudden like, oh, I gotta wear it like this for the next 8 hours, and you haven't been training like that. It's gonna be difficult for you. It's gonna be a bad day. So, just something to consider. You do whatever you want. I'm just telling you what I do. So that's that. I do have a nightcap that I have worn before. I modified this one a little bit. I'll show you. I have the same mount, L4G30, because it's the only mount that I will use because of the distance from your head. If you have another mount that sticks out further, it's only amplifying the weight that's further out in front of your head. So you need to have it as close to your head as possible to mitigate that much weight, especially when you start getting, you know, you got a dual tube goggle that's not as lightweight as some of the other ones that are available now. And then you're adding the thermal. Then you got, you know, 3 more batteries. You know, it's starting to I'll really start all adding up. And this one is fine. You know, it's good for, I know it's good for some people. I have worn it for full games in the past. I personally will always take the helmet just because of the stability of it. This one I can feel is good if you were like, you know, just going backpacking and, you know, if you're upright and, you know, you're doing light movement, this is great. But if bone up, if you're running and gunning, and if anything, you're moving your head to the side, or you really gotta get fucking, you gotta get crazy. It's like you need to have the helmet with something that is super stable. What I can say that I don't like about this one is the chin strap assembly. When I first got this front adjustment was so tight that I couldn't even open my mouth. So I had to cut that strap and undo it as much as possible to bring and just enough material where I could get the chin strap to safely close. So that was annoying. I made this other little counterweight on the back of this. Let me see why this is not. This is just another simple little counterweight that I have. That's pretty easy. The Crye one sits down here and kind of blocks that adjustment. That's like that back baseball strap. That's a little bit hard to adjust. So I just had mine sit up a little bit higher. And yeah, I don't know if maybe you could get like a retrofit or something, and have a dial of, you know, for this one, which would be better. But you know, I can't say that I'm fully confident in this or recommend it. It's just not. It's great that it gets, you know, smaller than a helmet. It's lighter than the helmet, but nowhere near as stable. If you're doing anything gunfighter related, or you're gonna be moving around shooting and stuff like that, it's no good. No good. Yeah. But then I'll show you how I pack all the stuff up. So if I'm going to pack all the stuff up to pack it into my bag for a game or anything, is oh, here's another little thing I got. Either I'll have this this is like a little camera lens case cover. It's like Velcro on one side, and then has that nice cloth on the inside. So I'll show you what I do. Is I'll take, someone asked what this thing. Someone asked how it feels. The skull cap is not. It's not. It's good because it's got more breathability than the helmet, but definitely it makes you ratchet the back down, trying to stabilize the weight of the goggle and everything. And definitely, since it doesn't have like a good adjustment for the chin strap, and you can't get it to tighten around to where you need it, like where like the dial will for the helmet. This really hurts like a motherfucker. I'm definitely not a big fan of it. So yeah, it's not great. The helmet's not great either, to be honest. I'm not gonna tell you it's awesome. But something that you have to get used to. It's something that it's one of those things. It's like shooting pistol. It's like, if you don't do this, you know, all the time, every once in a while, to get yourself confident and capable with it, like you go back out to do it and you're like, oh my God, my neck fucking sucks. It's like, this is terrible. And then you have to train with it a lot. That's why, like, every time we shoot, every time, you know, I get that opportunity to go to the range, it's like, I'll try to wear everything as much as possible, just because it's like, you got to do it, or your body's going to forget. And it's like, you know, it's not good. So what I'm going to do to pack all the stuff up. The thermal came with this small case that was dedicated. It came with this. So I'll put the thermal in this other case. I'll zip that all up. I'll take the goggle. I wrap the goggle. I'll show you. So I take the goggle and a little burrito. Fold that up nice. Make sure that it's not powered, but I'll have the battery in there, and then one in the parasite. Take my watch cap. Put the goggle in the watch cap. Added protection. Take the shell. Take the goggle. Stick that so that's laying flat against the back of the helmet. Take the thermal. Thermal in. Do the straps. Got this, everything right there. Make sure that your mount is closed. And then this is the Ops Core helmet bag. I got this on eBay. Just another good thing. And this is the bag that I'll keep everything in. And I'll put this in like that. got it too deep. So deep. Make sure everything's tucked in, perfect, like that. And then this has like this another little added bag, so you're gonna throw your parasites or some extra batters or anything like that. Put that in there, and then I tuck this up in the front. Hit the elastic drawstring, so it's gonna look, everything is nice in there and closed like that. And then I'll take this drawstring so that nothing falls out or anything like that. Do one. And two, just like that. Nothing's coming out. All super easy. And I'll usually take this, I'll wrap my jacket in this, and this is the first thing that goes in the top of my goalie bag. And then I'll put my vest in, the mini map on that, everything like that, shove that stuff up. And then I'll put like all the incidentals, whatever, like either my uniform, my other little bag and stuff like that. So heavier stuff going towards the top, and then, lighter stuff at the bottom, space saving stuff that gets puffy at the bottom. And then you gotta, just push it all up just like that. And then I can't remember how much this little case was, under 30 bucks, but definitely worth it. It's something that is just a nice case, keeps everything super contained. And yeah, that's that. So again, this was the helmet, thermal, night vision discussion setup for what we currently have. It may change. I may get another set of goggles in the future. I definitely would like to get something that was lighter. Maybe I would definitely, I would like a clearer tube. I would like to get the white and, just have to shoot the lock off my wallet and justify it. And, never know. I know a lot of the other guys got everybody's upgrading, arms race 2023 is definitely, it's a real thing, but, be grateful for what you have. I mean, I love the goggles that I have. Super, super grateful that I've had them for as long as I have, and how well that they've worked for me. So I'm not super hot to get anything new. But yeah, I think I tried to cover as much as I could with what people had asked me in the questions and everything. But yeah, I think this was pretty good. I like this format of doing the live. I don't have to edit anything. I can kind of just interact with you guys, go off the cuff as much as possible to give you the most up-to-date information as much as I can. So yeah. All right. Well, close to an hour. I think I did what I had to do. Thank you, everybody who picked up a Parasite and supported that. Everyone else, you're dead to me. No, I'm just kidding. But if you're interested, we still have Parasites are still going, and I'll have some more people asking about mini maps and mini mags. I will have mini mags hopefully in the next 2 weeks. I'll have some other stuff that I'm excited about. There will be a run of gray goalie bags that are hopefully be ready in the middle of May. I have a limited run. A group wanted a certain quantity, so I did some for them, and I added a little bit more onto that order. So there will be a small number of gray goalie bags that will be available. I will let everybody know when I have the date from First Spear, and then I'll fill the rest of that order. So please don't wait. If you're thinking about it, that will be the only run that I'll have probably for this year for goalie bags. And that's that. We'll have some more training stuff coming up. Yeah, if you're looking to get involved, contact your local tribe. We got gold, red, green. I'm going to try to find a location where I can get a blue tribe set up for West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, that area, that lower southern Atlantic region. So that's my that's one of my next goals for the summer. I just have to find a location that we can do that at. So yeah, so thanks everybody for joining the live. We'll do some more again soon, and hope everybody has a great night. Thank you very much. All right.